Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Today's show is brought to you by Personal Capital. For a free trial of Personal Capital, just go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the Personal Capital banner. Or go to PersonalCapital.com/TMOS. Again, click the Personal Capital banner on MikeO'MaraShow.com or go to PersonalCapital.com/TMOS.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store. And around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Kelly, you magnificent bastard! I read your book.
For people that aren't watching the video stream, they missed your pantomime of the binoculars.
We're all in a book lather. We're all in just a book frenzy here today. Very, very exciting with the debut of Open Mic from corporate radio to the new media. What's it called again?
It is Open Mic from corporate radio to
new media. The story of the Mike O'Mara Show.
As told to W. Michael Kelly.
I'm in it. I should know the title. That's it. It's really, really a lot of fun. And, I'd like to caution people about reading into the bestseller lists, which we are on right now.
Sure.
This is, as has been informed, I've been informed by Mr. Oscar Santana that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right, Mike.
And
it is.
That really the truth is, I don't think I'm out of line here when I looked at the financial realities of our book sales, which are phenomenal. We're very happy about it. We're very happy of it, and it's exciting to be on a bestseller list.
Yes.
But I don't think that I am going to be offending our listening audience when I said if you like the show and you've liked the book and you bought a copy of it, I don't think it's really a stretch to say, could you please buy 10 more?
Sure. Absolutely. I think you're right.
think, look, are we doing okay? Yeah, we're doing okay. Are we on some bestseller lists? Yes, we're on some bestseller lists. But do we need to do better? We are not, let me make no mistake, we are not James Patterson. We are not Hillary Clinton. Okay?
This is true.
The Oscar explained to me before the show.
Probably the wrong timing.
I got it. Now it's on my effing mind, Oscar, so let me vent. That the profit margins for a project of this type are designed for people that will sell in the millions.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, or the hundreds of thousands.
That's copies, not dollars.
It's like platinum records. Yes, copies. Yes, you made it very clear to me. I've looked at the price of the book. I understand. So I think really running the numbers and seeing what our optimal numbers are for this, I think the best way to do it is buy 10.
Yeah, 10 each would be great.
Too.
And you know what? You don't have to buy them all at once. It would be great if you could buy 2 a week, just for the rest of the summer.
What a lot of people don't realize is that when most books get published, you get an advance, right, from the publisher.
Right.
When you're the publisher, there's no advance. So there's hard costs into actually producing the books and getting
you got to buy paper and ink and
they get
glue.
shaved off.
Now listen, I am not beneath.
It's a jackhammer.
I am not beneath. I will lower myself to shill to be a whore. Here it is.
Yes.
You remember that when we raised money for charity, I said I would call everybody that donated, and I did that.
Yes, you did.
We're not going to do that for everybody that buys the book. It's not going to happen that way.
Okay,
However,
scratch that off the list.
if it is verified, if you can verify to me that you actually bought the most copies
be so
of
careful
Open
here.
Mic
Be very
from
careful.
corporate media. Just let me throw this out here.
Okay.
If you can verify to me that you bought the most copies of this book, like that's with the receipt, is it verifiable, Oscar? Can somebody produce evidence where they can say,
like a bill of
here it
sale
is.
or a photograph of many, many books?
Right.
An entire library?
Yes, a crate.
I'm actually manufacturing my offer in my own head.
Book mobile.
Now, what if you were to say, Mike, that if you
wait,
were
hold
to
on,
prove
Rob. I'm
it-
riffing here. Don't digress right now. I'm thinking. This
All
is
right.
important. If you can prove to me that you bought more copies of the book than anybody else, then I will.
Oh, you know what we could do, Mike?
I was thinking
don't let
about
him
staying.
digress.
I was thinking about staying on the phone with someone
For how long?
for as
30
for
minutes.
a minute every
For
time,
every copy.
with a ceiling of 30. No, that's so cheap.
No,
No,
because
no,
that would
cheap.
limit them to buying 30 books. Why would you
Yeah.
put a
Well,
ceiling
no.
on it?
Conceivably, oh God, now I don't even know what I'm doing. Let me hone it and refine it. The
Wait,
bottom line is we
there'll
need
be
everybody.
a grand prize.
How
Right.
about, Mike, a visit
From you, Rob Spiewak.
in this
How about
studio?
a visit from you
In this
Rob
studio
Spiewak?
where he gets to meet everybody.
The magic ticket.
Or she. A golden
Sit in
ticket.
for a whole-
the golden ticket.
Golden ticket.
The
That's-
golden ticket.
Well, that would be difficult for someone that was, on the West Coast or somewhere in
But
Middle
you
America.
know what? If you really, really wanted it.
Someone asked me, I'd drive.
Yeah, I would too.
Right.
I would take
If
a
I had the
train.
chance, it'd be a
I'd
lot of fun.
Get on the Amtrak.
Yeah.
The 30 book club.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Let's-
why are
let's-
you keep saying
yes.
30?
You
I
know
think
what?
60 or 90,
This,
maybe 100.
this dynamic has changed in the show, and for the better in the long run, but I've become the don't get happy guy.
Yes, you have.
Oh, you were
my
the don't.
God.
You are the don't. I come in and I say we've sold this many books, and Oscar's shoulders slump, and he says to me, "I guess you've been talking to Mike Kelly." And I'm like, "Hey," and Rob sits over there and makes some snarky comment. I'm like, "Boys, we've sold some copies of the books," and it's like, I know what it is. I didn't look at the financial ledger, and
Rob
I
already-
understand.
Rob and I have had internal conversations about that.
Yeah,
so that's
but
why
I mean,
he was
dude,
already
we
beat
have a
down by it.
book. We have a book. It's on
I know.
on the Amazon bestseller list in arts and literature biographies. Be excited for Christ's sake!
You turned to
really, you guys
Oscar.
don't realize I'm down here in Florida all by myself.
Yes.
I come in and I turn on this camera every day to see you, and you're both going, "Yeah, great, yeah."
Oh, that's
okay,
not
Mike.
like
yeah.
at all.
Because when you're
Yeah,
running
it
a
was with you,
marathon,
Rob. It was with you,
have to
and
take
then,
a
and then I've
breath.
got doom and gloom over
Yeah.
here. You know, it's
Then
like,
there's Oscar.
I guess you talked to Mike Kelly, huh? Yeah, we sold some books. Yeah, but do you know what the profit margins are on those
No,
books?
I didn't get to
Yeah,
that till the tail end, where
I
I said,
know.
I guess I just got to tell him.
And then we get done. We get done with that. I'm bouncing and going la la la. Everything's great. And then it's just like it's like a tree being chopped down. and you know what? I'm gonna cheer everybody up right now. You know how I'm gonna do that?
How?
Because it's time to read some reviews. Right. Okay. Let's go right to the reviews on
Yes.
Amazon.com, and I am thrilled with the valid points that are made on the reviews here.
Right.
This review comes from. Is it okay to mention the names of the reviewers, or should I just say?
It's public. It's public on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. The man upstairs writes. You can just smell the stink of failure and self-delusion rising from each poorly constructed sentence.
Is that a 5-star review?
That's a 1-star review.
Okay.
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 Oh,
Oh,
Pay,
I thought they would
pay
go with
$10 for this after reading the excerpt. Not in this lifetime. Thanks.
Well,
That's a valid point.
and I think, you
Okay.
know what? He kept it above board. He said thank you. It just goes to show,
He
Mike,
was so polite.
as long as you're polite, there's a room for everyone in the forum.
Thought it was a very, look, that's why I love, look, you make your own decision. Ultimately, you make your own decision. But I find reviews helpful.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's go on to
They're
the second one here.
constructive, Mike.
This comes on, this is kind of an Oscar-related one here. Ghost of Pizza.
Oh, nice. I love
All right.
pizza.
And the review, this review from Open Mic, from corporate radio to new media, the story of the Michael Mara Show, Kindle edition. I want the time back I wasted reading this utter POS. It's a vanity piece written by a wannabe fluffer. I guarantee you the author has someone in his freezer. 188 pages of LFF playing the victim. Oh, incidentally, that's lazy fat F. If you're keeping that.
polite.
Playing the victim. Rob's hackneyed craft baby marshmallow recipes are more entertaining. You would be better off just burning your money. Or better yet, just invest it in the slot market like Mike.
Also
All right.
valid. And you know what? Again,
valid point.
And
Valid point.
also some advice offered there. I think that's nice because some people, they're just all negative. What he's offering is a solution.
Yeah. And so helpful.
It is
very
helpful. Yeah.
This next one comes from Mitt Mitt. I believe it's Mitt Mitt.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lazy, period. Obese, period. This book could have had real stories in. Stories about Mike's struggles with sobriety. Stories about how his uncontrollable anger has destroyed friendships, business partnerships, and marriages. Instead, it glosses over all of that, leaving out the only interesting aspects of his life.
Oh my!
It's a valid point.
That is
Wow.
very
That is a
valid.
valid valid
and
point.
I say that. What is the name of that reviewer? Mitt.
Mitt.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait for the sequel.
Yeah, the,
Yes.
the unabridged version.
Absolutely. The next one comes from CBH. Oh, I wish there was more detail, but that's all we have.
How do
here.
you spell that?
Here it is. If you're dying to read a book by a textbook author about a failed DJ who does a radio show to himself and a few dozen fans, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
You're probably better off setting your Kindle on fire. And now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go throw a suitcase at my pregnant wife. Ooh, well, that was personal right there. I'm
Wow,
just
how
reading.
about that?
What if you have a Kindle Fire? You
That's
can't really
true.
set
Maybe
that
it's
on
a
fire.
It's a pun.
Maybe it's a plant.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Like
you
that
know-
guy's a big Kindle Fire guy.
I have a wooden Kindle.
I thought his point was pretty well taken. I'm not a fan of the comment about the pregnant wife.
No.
I didn't like that at all. Another initial, KDUB, writes, "This is terrible. This is written like a below-average 10th grade English paper, poorly structured and thrown together with little consideration for the reader. The short length is buffered with ploys."
Consideration for the reader?
Yes, the short length is buffered with ploys, such as transcriptions of conversations, too many headings, and short paragraphs that increase the white space. There might be 100 pages of content here, which leads me to the content is awful.
Oh.
The Regis story that takes up a large portion of the first chapter is never finished. Why doesn't Mike tell us why the show was never rebroadcast? Give us behind-the-scenes insight. Similar anecdotes of no real interest pepper the entire book. I guess Mike was too lazy to actually write an actual memoir. He just sanctioned this hack job.
You sanctioned it.
That is an excellent
I
point.
remember when you sanctioned it, Mike, and you waved your scepter. And
Right.
Also, I'd like to. May I offer some counterpoint because I haven't done that yet.
No. I don't think that's very fair to offer counterpoint.
All I
on
wanna
these.
say,
mean,
Mike,
I
is
think
that-
they're well-written, smart reviews.
I just want to take issue with the fact the first time I read the book, I thought it was written by like an above-average 10th grade English student, not
understand.
below, and maybe at 10th grade or even advanced, and that speaks to Mike Kelly.
All right. Moving right along. Nicholas H. Ivancic writes, "Want to hear why Mike can't get a job in radio or why his previous 2 radio shows failed? This book doesn't cover that." You know, I told you, Rob, I said, I want to talk about why I'm a failure.
Yeah.
And you said, no, that won't be interesting to the listeners.
Well,
I said,
Mike,
yes, it will.
To be fair,
God damn it, Rob.
I never sanctioned that.
Right.
I
Want to hear
unsanctioned it.
Want to hear about this is the second paragraph.
Oh, he goes on?
Want to hear about interesting stories about Mike's time with stars?
Stories?
Want to hear interesting stories about Mike's time with stars that
Yeah.
he used to impersonate? This book doesn't cover that. You know, I said to Oscar,
I remember.
I could put 6 or 7 chapters in with all of my time with stars.
I remember.
Celebrity encounters.
You know,
truly
when
could.
you brought in the transcripts, the galleys, as we call it in the biz, and Pony said, no.
Oh,
no
thank God.
stories of stars.
You guys are included though in the last paragraph.
thank
Oh, that's
goodness.
nice.
If you want to
Finally.
read, a poorly written book about a failed DJ and his hanger-ons,
Oh, good. That's us.
The barnacles.
Yeah.
which will make you feel sad about a failed DJ nearing the twilight of his life with no job possibilities and 2 people that can't get a job in radio that cling to his fading coattails,
Wow.
then this book is for you.
Wow, that is excellent. And I think it's kind that he mentioned us,
Oh,
Oscar.
I love it.
Man,
Yeah.
oh, man.
Finally, some respect.
Those coattails are so faded.
Let me skip ahead to the last one because
Thank
that's
you.
the one that motivated me. And also, if you leave two out of those, it's going to drive them nuts. Okay, here we go. This comes from Brian Conley, who writes, all caps, incidentally, so I would assume that he's yelling.
Yelling, or he's got a broken keyboard.
This is my favorite. And I will tell you, Brian, I'm going to give you a little tidbit here. This is the one that motivated me to read these to everybody today.
Good
because
boy,
this is the one
Brian.
I enjoyed
Good
the most.
boy.
From Brian Connolly, here's his review. Mike O'Mara had Mike O'Mara had a child well into his 50s and lives a lifestyle based around alcoholism and neglecting his son. He has stated many times how awful a human he is, including his thousands of drinking blackouts. That's true. Many well after his son was born, at least 500.
Yeah,
and
half
how
of
he
them.
wears earplugs at night so his son doesn't wake him. Well, that is true. He is a he is a miserable human being, and if you have any integrity, you won't purchase this or any affiliated media to support such an abusive, miserable person. Yeah.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
Tell you guys something else. I just spent 4 years in college, didn't learn a thing. It was really kind of my own fault. I had a double major, psychology and reverse psychology. I used to sponsor an orphan in South America until I saw on TV that for the same cost, I can buy myself a cup of coffee every day. Battered women. Sounds delicious. Doesn't make it right.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Kathy Pfeiffer Studios at her worldwide. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services. With over 24 million downloads, we're heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks.
You know, when Steve sends me the list, Mike, of the listeners of the day, he doesn't include pronouncers, so I just have to hope I get this one right, okay?
All right, lay it on
Our
us.
KCJJ TMOS listener of the day, I think it's Jennifer Miller.
Wow. God. Okay.
I mean, I
I'll
hope
tell you.
so.
And you wonder why immigration is an issue.
Yeah, that's right. They snuck under the wall into Iowa.
The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
Why, Jennifer Miller?
Because they get it. Our show today is brought to you by Sleep Number Beds. There's a brand new technology called Sleep IQ technology that they are offering on Sleep Number Beds. Let me tell you about it. Sleep IQ technology provides a intuitive way to know better sleep. It's only available on Sleep Number Beds. The Sleep Number Bed is the only bed that lets you track and optimize your sleep with Sleep IQ technology. Rob and I have both talked about it. Many people go through it, and
Sure.
that's a sleep study.
Absolutely.
Where they want to analyze your sleep. This is a wonderful way to know the quality of sleep you're getting, because more and more people in related fields are telling us that sleep is the key to good health. This Sleep IQ technology is an easy-to-use, interactive app on your phone or desktop. Sensors work directly with the dual-air technology inside the bed to track how you're sleeping, and it couldn't be easier to use. Nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. All you have to do is sleep. My sleep number setting is a 75. Carla's is an 85. Remember, folks, there's only one place in the world to find the Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology. It's at a Sleep Number store. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Know better sleep. You can find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061. Don't forget to tell them that Michael Sean Patrick O'Mara sent you.
Yeah, go in there and say, Mike sent me. I'm here to buy the bed.
Really delighted to have this book finally get released,
Yeah.
and Oscar's telling the truth. I mean, it's like everything in the world. The whole structure of a book or an album or a mass consumed product
Yeah.
is mass consumption, and we carve out our little niche and we do what we can.
Yeah, we're proud of
and
it.
the fact is, we're jacked up, but this is, as Oscar said to me before the show, it is a marathon, not a sprint, and we do appreciate, all you wonderful people that bought this book and did so early, and we hope the book continues to sell very, very well, and we got some goals in mind, and we'd love to reach those goals, but it really is, it's something that we did primarily for the fan base of this show, and we don't have any designs on this becoming
vested
something
interest.
that will touch the national consciousness. But the fact is, when you get on some of these lists on Amazon, and it's great to be on some of these lists because maybe it'll get the show noticed, and you'll be able to give somebody for Father's Day or a birthday a copy of the book so that they can say, "You want to know what this show's all about? Read this and then dive in." I think that would work. I just thought of that right now, but I think that would actually work if you were turning somebody on to the show and you said, "You want to know what this show's all about? Here's the book."
I mentioned it to Oscar yesterday.
Might be a good way to do
what it is, it's a gateway book, Mike. It can get people started. It's great for the fan, and it's great for the person that you think should be a fan. Don't you have someone in your life that you think if they were to listen to this program, they'd dig it? You know, if you know someone and
absolutely.
you know this show, this is a great introduction. And, go ahead and do it. And remember, the first taste is free.
They start with us, and then they end up at the encyclopedia. Oh, I can't even say it! Damn it!
Britannica.
Damn it!
Yeah, I thought
Encyclopedia Britannica.
I was so excited. So excited. I killed it. Low moment.
We all do it that way. We all
down.
promote our show our own way. We actually walk to people and we say, "Hey, give us a listen, check it out." And I do believe that. I mean, I don't have any hesitation. I think it's very rare to find people that wouldn't find at least some portions of this program that they would track with and that they would dig.
Yeah.
And I think of ourselves as kind of a bunch of everymen that that we talk about what's on our mind. And I think that this is a good companion to that. So thank you in advance for that. We're excited about it. I will tell you that there are days that I come in here and something's going on that's hysterically funny, and I want to talk about it. And then there are days where, I'll be honest with you, I'm watching the news the night before, thinking about this show today, and it just is kind of relentless. And I have to hold my head up and say things are going to be okay. But if you really want to look at the news cycle over the last 24 hours, we had another shooting, another school shooting, okay? We have the Tracy Morgan story, which is, horrible because it's a, very funny guy. I used to poke fun at him. He's not my favorite comedian in the world, but nobody likes to see this happen because a limo bus was smashed into. You have a guy that unseats the House Majority Leader. That's Eric Cantor down in Virginia.
Here in Virginia,
And that's a local election. Huge. There he is. There's Eric Cantor.
That is Eric Cantor.
It's funny because
he sounds okay.
Yeah, he sounds like he's handling it well.
I broke that news to Shannon this morning. I said, I was like, did you know that? I was like, Eric Hanna got voted out. She goes, who? I said, the guy that we saw at Surfside in D.C. with all the Secret Service.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. I said, well, no more Secret Service.
No.
Yeah.
That's the way it
It's
goes.
just table for two now.
So we can talk about that. I guess nobody saw it coming, but the consistent analysis is that the guy that's coming in will be obstructionist, that's what his agenda is, not to get anything done. And I'm like, yay, big win for the country. It's like, how do you get excited about that? I guess you get excited if you want nothing to happen.
Well,
but
the Washington Post and every paper out there and all the news outlets, they were basically just popping out of their pants because as soon as this came out, it was Capitol Hill gets rocked. This hasn't happened in the history of politics. All these big, and I start reading into this, and I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be a little worse than it is now. But I mean, what's really going to change? Nothing's happening right now as it is.
It's a guy, Mike, named Dave Bratt, and
but here's the thing.
And Dave Bratt, Mike, I think is supported by people that love flat tires. It's people that are enthusiastic about things that are ineffective.
Okay, here's my point. And yes, it is political, and I will get political, so bear with me.
Please.
Wouldn't you think that if you have nothing going on and no progress being made by our government leaders, that you'd want to vote out the douche that does it, right? I think that's totally legit.
Sure.
Yeah.
But why, to me, do you vote out the douche that's doing it to bring in a douche that wants to do it even more? That doesn't make sense to me.
My theory is the fact that Virginians don't turn out for elections like this. I blame it on
that has a lot to do with it.
I
There are
blame
lots
it
of
on our
different theories
state,
about it.
and I feel bad about it.
Well, I wish my people turned out for elections like this.
Well, you didn't
because they're the one that's most effective.
You don't turn out for elections.
Well, it's in D.C. I get a pass. I'm talking about
Well,
in
it's funny you
Virginia,
mentioned
though.
your people.
Well, because the Dream Act was something that Cantor got killed on.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, that was the main issue
They
of this
should
guy.
have gone and voted. I know there are some legals in Manassas.
Yeah,
Get out there, you jerks.
There's
Well,
a
it's- I
button.
don't think
Well, that was in this district, but I know. But there's
It's
enough
not as
Latinos out there. They should have gone out. And
El Voto. That's what the button reads.
Tell me how
But-
$5 million doesn't beat $300,000 each. That's corresponding
because
budgets
because nobody gives a rat's ass.
That's right.
And nobody
Wow.
turns out. And now another article that I read today was saying that they think that Cooter, remember Cooter from the Dukes of
Oh,
Hazzard?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Ben is what's his name?
Ben Jones.
Ben Jones. Yeah. Are you sure that's how you pronounce it?
I'm not,
Ben
He's another-
Jones.
it's like Miller in Iowa. Ben Jones, apparently there might have been a Democratic get out the vote campaign to unseat Eric Cantor. But it doesn't make any sense to me that either because
Because
you
the
got a guy
opponent is
that,
in the other direction.
yes.
Well, if he
so
know-
it doesn't
if he
none of
takes-
it makes sense.
If he takes votes away in any way or manner, or basically spreads the word that this guy's working with the Democrats, is what I've read. Right now, I think that who this really hurts is the Republican Party overall, and I think that's clear. Where you have, and I have my conservative leanings, but you have a party that is reeling for a battle and a good fight, which is presumably against Hillary Clinton in the next presidential race. And now they have to fight again, they continue fighting even harder just to keep their seats. Mm-hmm. So how are they going to concentrate on the presidential election when they have to fight to keep their own seats?
right. And
How's that even
it's-
possible?
it is so topsy-turvy right now with so many different theories. Nobody can really pigeonhole this to say this is going to mean a certain group is going to be in power because people are saying, well, these guys are so out to the right that they can't beat, Democrats. And then the Democrats are saying, no, this is dangerous because these people, who knows? I don't know. All I know is it's very scary. Look, I believe in separation of church and state. And when a guy claims that his election was a miracle from God,
Yes.
it gets me a little scared. It does. It gets me a little scared.
I
And
do-
I don't disrespect people's religious beliefs, but I also believe that there have been incredibly religious people that know that you separate government from the church.
Yeah.
You do. And
I-
I don't know where that went away in the Constitution.
I do. While this may not bode well in the short term for because I believe in the Dream Act as far as that's concerned, but
So you see those pictures of those kids coming over from El Salvador, and you know they're running away from gang violence in their home country. It's just my heart breaks for those. They're
I
human
agree.
beings, for Christ's sake.
Though there is something to be said about this David versus Goliath situation here, where there's a lot of politics that has become institutionalized in this country, especially politicians, right?
Okay.
Where
Oh,
they
I
think
agree with that.
they're
Yeah.
just going to keep their
Totally
seat, and
agree
that's
with
what's going to happen.
That's right.
Maybe
Right.
if those gentlemen, instead of scheming for their next position in the House, they could actually go back to their constituents and pay attention to them a little more. They'll realize what people really
Yeah,
want.
but it's such bad business for them because the longer you're in there, the more invested you are. You have seniority, and also you've got.
But seniority didn't pay this time, Rob. That's my point.
Yeah, it's true.
That's my
It's-
point.
it's
That
true.
If seniority doesn't pay on Eric Cantor's level, a lot of people, even the Democrats, are going to think twice about how they deal with their constituency.
Sometimes when you keep your head down with your nose to the grindstone, you lose sight of the fact that your enemy is charging right up your right nostril. That was a little impromptu Frank Underwood that I thought I'd share with everybody. So, weird day in
Absolutely.
Washington, D.C., and a weird day in the world of history, too, because, yes, that's right, O.J. Simpson, the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
When it all unraveled. We'll take a break, talk about that when we come back. And Horny Bob Spiewak gets a motorcycle.
He's on the run.
All that's coming up on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hi, this is Steve Jobs.
And this is Bill Gates.
And if you want to be a multi-billionaire, you got to listen to Tech 411.
Yeah, that's because we give you all our secrets and we don't hold back at all.
And we're at the intersection of what?
Technology and entertainment, people. And it's not just all tech. We're having a good time over here, and we're going to make you laugh. Listen to show number 49. Well, look, we got 1 out of 50 shows that was really funny.
Yes.
And you should listen to that one.
So at least there's something.
There's one good show.
You can find us at MikeO'MaraShow.com or iTunes. Again, it's called the Tech 411 Show with Bill Gates.
And Steve Jobs.
Ciao, ciao.
later.
More Broadcasting. For more information, visit us at morebroadcasting.com.
Did he mush the second one?
What's that?
Did he mush
I
the
said
second
four
one?
on.
You said,
Four
please
on
make
on.
sure you listen to Tech 4.
You know what? I've got all the promos for Tech 411.
Could you burn them?
Oscar normally loses interest about 22 seconds in. He starts out strong.
Well,
Wow.
that's when the next drink has been poured.
We'll get
It's
some
a great
fresh ones
show.
in. Yeah, it is.
And they are cutting edge. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hacks.
Everyone here at the show is proud and pleased to announce the publication of our new book, Open Mike. It's the true story of the Mike O'Mara Show and how it evolved from terrestrial radio into the popular podcast that you're listening to right now. The story is told by the people who lived it. Mike, Oscar, Rob, as well as interviews with radio executives.
Right?
As Steve Bridges said from Iowa, I'm in a book.
Hey, Rob, I'm in a book.
Lovely reminiscences by family members like my sister, Matt, news media,
How dare
Tony,
you.
and fans of the show. It's told to the wonderful author, the just lovely author, Michael Kelly. There's Rob holding up a copy of it right there. Available in paperback or for your Kindle at Amazon.com or just click the link at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Please buy 10, as we mentioned before.
Thank you.
We would really appreciate that. Horny Bob Spiewak, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the O.J. Simpson trial.
That's the reason
by
he
going
bought it.
out and,
Yeah.
and getting himself a Suzuki motorcycle.
I was so tickled to speak to my father yesterday because you know what he had? He had a boyish Christmas Day enthusiasm as
Because
he took
his-
delivery of his motorcycle. Yeah.
His Suzuki was about to arrive. It's the
And
reality.
he got it from a gentleman in Virginia Beach. And
We
it
have
was,
tape of that gentleman as well.
Oh,
Here's
good.
what he said. Yeah, the gentleman said,
Yeah.
"Thank you."
That's not an accurate representation of the gentleman from Virginia Beach.
Hello.
That's
Okay.
closer. That's
Very good.
closer. But he had.
So he got his motorcycle. Is he excited about it?
Oh, he's delighted. They trailered it up to him. He got it while we were on the air yesterday, and it turns out the guy who sold it to him, it's actually a pretty substantial bike. It's 800 some cc's, and so it's got a lot of power.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
no, but I know that's bigger than a 250. Is that-
Dad likes motorcycles. Junior doesn't.
No, I have no interest. But I love the fact that my pop is excited about it. And
Right.
so Red brought the bike up on a trailer and dropped it off for him.
The Red Roof bobblehead?
No, Red Neckerson, Mike.
Well, how you doing there? Yeah, we've got a motorcycle for you. I'm Red, the Red Roof bobblehead.
Hey,
They
do you
don't
have-
even
they don't do that anymore. You still have bed bugs at the Red Roof Inn, Red?
no bed bugs at the Red Roof Inn. Here's your brand new Suzuki, Mr. Spiewak. I'm Red, the Red Roof bobblehead.
Red Roof no longer with ghost dance.
The ghost dance don't get into your equipment. I think we're done with ghost dance. So tell me about the. Has he taken it for a spin yet?
He actually was so excited to take delivery that he had a helmet, but he had his helmet up here in the Washington, D.C. area. So when he got word that he was going to receive the bike, he couldn't wait for the helmet to be overnighted. He went and bought another helmet because he was that excited to get it. And
Has he taken the training? Is he a trained rider, or did he ride
trained,
when he was a
trained
kid?
years ago. Yeah, he's had his motorcycle license forever.
Oh, he has.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he gets on the bike as soon as the guy trailers it up and unloads it for him. My dad gets on, and what's the first thing that happens? Mike, before he even starts it, his feet are too close to the bike, and it tips over on him.
Oh, my God.
no,
He
laid
dumped it?
down.
Yeah. And
I
then
dumped my bike within hours of getting it too.
And then
I did.
the man who
man.
sold it to him said, after he stopped laughing, as my father described, loudly. He laughed loudly and said, he said, well, that's a valuable lesson.
Now explain. You were explaining his feet got too close to it.
Yeah, because-
what was the process of him putting the bike down?
He apparently, and again, you are more of a motorcycle guy than I am. Of course,
Okay.
so is this camera. But you know more about motorcycles and keeping it upright, he explained to me, and it makes sense, all about balance. And
Oh, yeah,
if
right,
you
right.
have your feet further apart on the pavement when you're standing
Like
still,
it's a tripod.
yeah, you're going to have a better chance to balance it. And this was his first time on the bike, and his center of gravity or whatever was not ideal. And he went down, and of course, what was he wearing? Shorts and a t-shirt.
Oh, God.
After the guy
Did he get road rash? Did he get road rash standing still?
He did.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it's not put him off. It did not put him off at all. After they righted the bike and they noticed that he broke the lever for the brake because it fell on that.
No.
So he had.
Oh Jesus Christ! He got it. They took it off the trailer and he dumped it.
So what happened is, it turns out the gentleman who sold him the Suzuki is actually a sort of a big deal in the Virginia Beach Harley Owners Group, and
Here he is again.
I thought you had to own a Harley in order to.
He does own a Harley.
Okay, he's just selling his Suzuki.
He sold his wife's Suzuki.
Oh, okay.
And he is also an instructor, and he does what some of your buddies do, Mike. Those exhibitions where you drive the bike amazingly slow and keep it upright in those hairpin turns.
Agility.
And stuff. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
that. So
Well,
this guy
I'm
knows
familiar with
exactly
that with the police rodeo, the motorcycle squad rodeo.
So this guy knows what he's doing, and so after he righted the bike and noticed that the brake lever was broken, he said, well, here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to get yourself some long pants. I mean, and really, talking to my dad like my dad is 12, and you're going to want to get yourself some long pants.
Your dad is crying.
Yeah, blood everywhere.
We actually got a tape of the phone conversation from the guy that sold it to him,
Okay.
the Suzuki. So let's go to that tape right
Please.
now. All right, here we go. All right, play that for. Play it, please.
Hello, Mr. Spielberg. I am Honorable Suzuki salesman. I'm so sorry you put the bike down. I'm so sorry you scrape up your knee wearing a short pants and a t-shirt. I'm so sorry you have a first experience horrible with a Suzuki. I make sure you get a proper training and you keep your balance. I am so sorry that lack of coordination runs so rampantly through the Spielberg clan. Yeah, you have a good day.
That's got to be the worst feeling.
Well, and bad enough to put your bike down.
He was
even
excited, bought
even
the
worse
helmet,
to break it,
laid it down.
but in front of the guy.
Yes.
And then the guy laughs and says, "You're going to want to get some long pants and long sleeve shirt." And then after a pause, he says, "Jeans are good." As if, oh, really? You think?
Well, you
I
can't
get a-
blame the guy. If he sees a guy like this, he says, I got to teach this man how to ride, basically.
But then
I get a complex down here in Florida about riding with shorts, but it is so warm all the time down here that I have done it occasionally, but it freaks me out more than
that
riding without a
doesn't
helmet.
make sense.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, you see, Oscar, I see more guys than you would ever imagine on full-size Harley dressers
Yeah.
with flip-flops and shorts on. I
Mike,
mean, that's
but
what they.
that doesn't
that's
mean
what they
that
do.
you have to be that guy.
That's
You're
right.
more
Bill-
responsible than them.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
I
You
don't
might-
have.
you
I
need
don't
to-
have to.
Let me get the list of people that you are responsible for. I think I have.
Oh,
it
he's
here.
done-
Okay, I get it.
okay, okay,
Carla's
okay,
going to love
okay.
you now. Do not get in this discussion with Carla up in Maine.
But
Thank
as you, Mike, count on it. That conversation never
God.
happening after Two Jack and Cokes.
Oscar, Rob, Oscar has endeared himself like to every member of my family. Everybody
Not my
is
family.
They're all excited about saying it. It's just because he knows exactly how to say the right thing.
Exactly.
He totally does. He
Yeah.
totally. It's just like, what a lovely young man. What a lovely young man.
And
that
then you know
was.
what? He's going to have 3 drinks, start talking to your family, start talking to Robert, and you and I will be filling
right.
out a suicide pact
Right.
because it's just not worth it.
Yeah,
So-
maybe we get him really drunk one night and he can get some of the cousins over and Oscar can look at him and go, we've got an amazing idea. We turn this into a Marriott.
Yeah, no.
We turn this into a Marriott. It'll be amazing.
He's
Now,
gonna get. He's gonna
La
get. Your,
Quinta.
he's gonna get your cousin's candidate elected. That's what he'll say.
I do, Oscar. I do want to get water shots when we're up there.
Yeah.
Are you bringing the beast?
Is that
are
all?
you bringing?
Is that all you're drinking now?
But you read the
Doubles.
memo.
Doubles with a little Mio inside. You know?
Ah, yeah.
So,
Flavored
how
water.
banged up was he? Really? How hurt
Enough
was
that
he?
he took 3 aspirin last night and had to put some Band-Aids on. Not too bad. But
Well, so much so
even
that
after he put the bike down, he said the first thing he did is he went inside and he went onto Amazon and bought himself a new lever for his brake. And the brake is still usable. It's just it broke the tip off of it. So he wanted the bike to be, Bristol. Then he
Right.
got on and he lives like you in a gated community.
What's that term you use?
Bristol.
What's
perfect.
that?
It's like it's a Navy term. It means perfect, clean.
Oh, I thought
Really?
you meant Bristol Palin.
No, I don't mean
Kind
that
of
at all.
banged
It's
up.
cool. I never. Hey man, how's the bike? Oh man, it's Bristol.
That's a boat word. You should know that because you look like you're in the know. When you get your boat all hosed down,
It's Bristol, matey.
your boat is Bristol.
Okay, so he got the new product. Arr, matey, that's a Bristol bike you got there, Mr. Spiewak. Why don't you hop on and take her for your very first spin? There he goes. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Was there any body damage outside of the brake?
No,
Like
it
scrapes?
has. No, he said something. It's got a. Is Mike? This means nothing to me. It has a sissy bar. So it's,
Oh, a sissy bar. Yeah, that's
so
that's on the
protected
back.
protected the actual engine when it fell.
What about the
No, that's an
gas?
engine guard. An engine guard. An engine guard is the bar that goes around the engine, and that protects the engine from getting damaged when you take it. A sissy bar goes on the back, and it sits on the back, so if you have a passenger on or you want to strap luggage to it, it sits on the back of your bike. It's that little, that little backrest.
You see, up until now, I thought a sissy bar was a place that served grasshoppers and sidecars.
No, thank you.
But anyway,
Well,
in closing,
yes.
he was able to
Yes.
take it around. There's not a lot of traffic where he lives. He took it
Right.
a spin around the neighborhood, and it's just great. And you can appreciate this when someone that you love very much says, it just felt so great. He's so happy. He's wanted a motorcycle for 10 years, and
Good
he's
for him.
finally got it, and we're very pleased.
I'm glad that photograph that he put up there was the real bike this time. So, HPS, well, you're not putting up dirty pictures online and getting banned for it on Facebook. Enjoy spinning around the neighborhood in your motorcycle. We'll take a break, come back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show.
On her way to work one morning down the path.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by The Man Grade. Everybody. The Man Grade, 100% made in America goodness, solid iron, in a cardboard box that Dad will open up on Father's Day, and it'll make his Father's Day because he'll be grilling the best food that he's ever grilled on his grill, because his grill isn't going to be a wimpy grill anymore. His grill's going to be a manly grill with the Man Grade, everybody. Men's Health Magazine called him one of the best grilling accessories that money can buy. We agree with that. And you know what? Man Grades are the perfect gift for Father's Day, and they're also great for grads. Somebody's got a brand new apartment that has just a tiny little grill on their patio. You can get it for them. Even yourself. Doesn't Dad deserve the best? You're damn right he does. So click on the Man Grade banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com and do it for their $19.99 Dad's Day special. That is a bargain. $19.99. The people at Man Grades have held that price over the years, and you are the beneficiary. Each order comes from with a spectacular Man Grade grilling brush, everybody.
Last Father's Day, I got HBS a set of the Man Grades, and he put it on his hibachi mic. And it really bossed it up. But the best thing is he took that grill brush and installed it to his motorcycle as a kickstand. And the thing can't fall over now.
Oh,
Solid
that's
as
great.
a rock.
I remember when you gave your father that grilling brush and the grill just fell over.
And then he fell over, and so did I.
That's the Man Grade Grill Enhancement System. Order today at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and you'll have the juiciest, most delicious Father's Day ever. And we thank you for that. Okay, boy, we got so many things we can talk about here, but I want to give a little food tip on the show because I do that occasionally, and this is just a
Culinary
little compliment.
corner?
A little compliment that I'm going to be sending out to Mrs. O'Mara.
What was the name of our cooking show that never got off the ground?
Taste this.
Was it Taste This?
No.
I thought it was.
I have no idea.
Help
It
Yourself.
meant so much to you that you don't remember it. You remember what Ann B. Davis had on her pancakes the day she died.
Yes.
But a show that you actually participated in, somehow that little thing inside the Spiewak brain doesn't fire.
Yeah, because
that little thing.
I'm focused forward. I don't.
Yes.
I don't like to look at the
I
projects.
thought it was.
I know. And that's what you
Called-
live your life focused forward, Boris
thought it
Karloff. I'm
was-
aware of that.
You are the eye in diabetes. No?
Mhm.
That was the title of the show?
Do you remember
No,
the long
no.
pauses in the cooking show, like the one after that joke?
No.
That was good fun.
Today is not my best day.
was,
Encyclopedia
interesting.
Britannica.
I can't say it. I couldn't even try it if I did not.
Oh, no, I got it. I have it here. I have it
Can't
here.
say it.
This
Yeah.
is what Rob and I tried to do. We didn't pursue the show. I can't see my penis.
That
That
was
is
it.
the name of the show.
No,
that it
no.
Yeah,
was.
and then we tried the
I
other
think the
sequel.
censors said no to that.
The sequel to it, another failed show, is I Can See His Penis.
Yeah, exactly.
It was dirtier.
And that was right after the Sissy Bar show. So it all comes tied
Guys,
together.
What was the name of that show, though? There has to be a name.
Was it, how about that?
How about that?
Was it that? I
That
think it was.
sounds. It was
First of
something
all,
like that.
How dare
How
It
dare
was.
you?
How dare you?
Oh,
It was.
How dare you?
Pony,
Pony. The man least interested in the show or eating actually remembered the name of our cooking
How
show.
about that?
So these panko breadcrumbs that Mrs. O'Mara uses
Oh my God.
Oh, they're
are
delicious.
the S. They are the bomb. I am here to tell you that if you have ever pan-fried anything, fish, chicken, country fried steak, whatever
Yes.
you want to do, these lovely once again, the Asian influence on the Mike O'Mara show. I believe these are Japanese breadcrumbs, panko breadcrumbs.
They are.
And they are just... Rob, have you ever tried them?
I have. As a matter of fact, the kids' favorite chicken tenders that we buy are panko breaded chicken tenders. And it's because the texture of the Japanese bread, Mike, it crisps up so wonderfully.
It's phantasmagorical, and I recommend putting it on anything.
As a matter
It's
of fact,
just
Mike,
terrific.
at the Kikoman website, and I think that's your homepage, isn't it? Don't you?
Yes, Kikkoman.
And he has
And pronounce it correctly, please. It's Kikkoman.
Kikkoman. It says pan cow. Kikkoman pan cow bread crumbs are made from specially baked, crustless bread with an oblong shape. Pan cow crumbs are larger, crispier, and lighter, so they coat without packing like regular breadcrumbs, allowing foods to stay crispier longer.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
We actually
Oh.
have a clip from the head of Kikkoman talking about his panko breadcrumbs. Can we roll that clip, please?
Hello.
Hey!
My Kikkoman panko breadcrumbs are so delicious.
Yeah?
You will enjoy them, dear. I know you will like the panko breadcrumb, dear.
Will you answer a question?
Oh, now it's not a clip, it's a live interview.
Oh, yeah, it is. We actually went to it via satellite.
How come you don't remember cooking show with Mike, huh? How dare you?
I had same memory that Mike did.
Yeah, panko breadcrumb,
Do you also-
delicious.
Do you sell motorcycles?
Yeah, but make sure if you over 6'1", when you step on a Suzuki motorcycle for first time, make sure you put feet apart. Put feet apart. That is most important. And after you fall and get bloody elbow, go inside and fry a piece of chicken with panko breadcrumbs from Kikkoman.
I thought you were eating healthier.
That is
we are
healthy.
technically. Let me tell you what she does. She takes
Okay,
she
please
takes
explain
a
this
chicken
to me.
breast. Well, she'll tell you the point value,
Okay.
the Weight Watchers point value
Oh, is that
for
what you're
this.
doing these days?
You take one chicken breast, only one,
Boneless,
and
skinless?
and a skinless, boneless chicken breast, and you pound it out.
Yeah,
with a
you
mallet.
do.
Oh,
You
so
pound it out
you
with
make
a mallet.
it larger.
No,
Yes, you
flatten
make it larger. You flatten it, but it also makes it kind of airier. Believe it or not, it does that, and then you sprinkle them with the panko breadcrumbs, and you lightly fry it in a pan, and it is just super delicious and not as calorically bad for you as, say, a regular fried chicken product.
Yeah, I
What it
heard
does, it
fried
simulates
pan.
the skin without having the skin of the chicken on it.
But wouldn't it
Right.
be better if you just didn't put them on there and just had the chicken breast?
And wouldn't it
Well,
be better
to
if
be
you
honest
just
with
didn't
you,
eat at all?
Look at how indignant he's getting. He's getting indignant right
Because he's a dick.
now.
You are.
I'm pointing out.
Have you ever taken a regular, plain, boneless, skinless chicken breast and just fried it in a pan? And maybe you don't even add oil, so it's a little dry, and you eat it. You know what it is? It's nothing. It's nothing.
That's what I ate
You
all through
have
college.
Nothing.
That's what I would make all through college.
Yeah, and look at you now. You're miserable.
I'm happy.
Mike, I want to throw this. You're going to love
Yes.
this fact. I'm
Go
back
right
at
ahead.
the Kikkoman website.
Yes.
It says you can add a crisp, crunchy topping to everything from French toast to fruit fritters.
Really? Hi, this is Gene Baxter. Stop by the Whitehall Inn and enjoy Kikkoman's delicious fruit fritters. Thank
Hey,
you.
Gene,
Thank you very much.
Is
Yeah.
your effects mic open by chance?
Yes, it is. Sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Delicious fruit fritters. Let me turn that down, Oscar.
There, how's that? Better?
Much better.
Delicious fruit fritters. You know, when I'm creating the magic, when I'm creating my Doug Track magic machine, when I'm here in the Fort Myers magic machine, It's so many knobs, so many things going on simultaneously.
But you know what? It's always time, Mike. Always time for fruit fritters.
Yes, fruit fritters. I just wanted to say, if you haven't discovered these delightful breadcrumbs, they're fantastic and a delightful addition to any meal from Kraft.
But really, you know what? What that just shows me, Oscar doesn't care about flavor or texture or anything good.
Well, but aren't you happy? Look at how healthy he is compared to you and me.
You know what?
I mean, really.
I got a chance to outlive him.
Just
a chance.
Not as of late.
Well, yeah. So
All
I'm
right,
fast.
You get further away from that console every week.
I wish you'd get further away from the studio.
Stop, behave, boys. Rob,
You know what?
please.
It's like he's revealing the secret at the end of Citizen Kane that I'm fat. It's like, oh my God, what? What?
Rob,
What?
as far as if you could,
Yes.
because you're somebody like me, you've lost and gained, and now you're in a in a mode where you know you could eat healthier.
Sure.
Why don't you just, if you can from memory, and this is tough. This would be tough for me.
Right.
I don't expect it to be easy for you. Could you just sort of rehash perhaps the last 2 or 3 dinners that you had at the Spiewak house?
Yesterday
just to be
we
clear,
had,
and we'll let Oscar analyze.
all right, this will be fun because
Please.
Oscar is, he's a good guy. Last night we had grilled boneless, skinless chicken thighs. It's one of the kids' favorites.
Oh, that's not
Now,
bad. Not bad.
You know what?
Yeah.
Obviously, they would if you went with the breast. It would be, but that if you're talking about on the grill,
Right.
Now you said grill. Are you telling the entire truth, or were they slathered in barbecue?
Oh, they had
sauce?
barbecue sauce on them and also marinated.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
so that's not grilled chicken. That's barbecued
It
chicken.
is barbecue chicken, and we
It's
had
barbecue
with it a Uncle Ben's rice medley. I believe it was the broccoli au gratin. It comes in the box. Kids love it.
There we go. The kids love it. That's what it is. The kids love it. All right, what's that? Now, this was last night?
That was last night. The night before.
And you're working your way backwards because then we get
Well,
Monday
because,
and we get
yes,
Sunday dinner, which is great.
Well, what's great is when you work your way backwards, Mike, you lose weight. On the night before, we had tater tot casserole.
Oh, now that sounds bad for you. That
It is, but you know
sounds
what?
really bad
It is
for
one
you.
of the most delightful concoctions on God's green
I
earth.
have never heard of it. Please share with me what tater tot casserole
You
is.
get yourself some ground beef.
You need
Mike.
music for this.
I do?
You need your own accompaniment
Please.
for
All right.
this.
Give me
because
just a
if you're
heard
going
of
to
it
tell
either.
me,
It sounds great.
It's fantastic. I swear to you, there is nothing better.
if you're going to tell me what tater tot casserole is, you have to play some
Can
music.
you put a little ketchup on that casserole?
You could, but that's not the direction you want to go.
Please.
Tell me all about it. I've never heard of it because it sounds to me like a tater tot is an accompaniment, is a side dish.
Yes, but not in the casserole, Mike. It becomes a key player in
All right,
this
go ahead.
delightful
Share,
food
share, share.
concoction.
I like
Or as I like to call it, Polish shepherd's pie.
Really?
You
I'm
ground
fascinated.
beef. Get about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, any cut you like, okay?
Okay,
And
very
while you're
good.
browning it, you add in about 4 or 5 ribs of chopped celery and a chopped
Okay,
onion. Cook
very
it
good.
down till it's nice and cooked. Brown.
Okay.
A little crispy is nice if you have the time. Drain off all the fat.
So you take, let me see if I got this right. You get your ground beef, you put celery and onion in there, and you fry it all off and
Cook
get
it
it down to really crispy consistency.
Yes,
really
and
almost
that's
really,
delicious.
really like a good texture for the
Right.
ground
And
beef.
what you got to do, Oscar, if you have a moment today,
Yes.
look up the My Artifact and it'll explain why the brown beef tastes better.
Please.
Okay.
Very good.
And then
Okay.
you, after you drain all the fat, you put it in a bowl and you add a can of cream of mushroom soup. But here's the thing, Mike. Here's the thing.
I love you, Rob Spiewak. I love you, Rob Spiewak. I swear to God, this is what
Holy
I
ass.
love. This is my. This is feeding my soul today. This
What
is
you
good.
do,
Continue.
you don't add milk because it's condensed. But you don't
Right.
add the milk. You leave
Okay.
it full strength, and you add it and you stir it, and what you've got then is the base of your casserole.
So
Put
you
it-
now would you add milk to that
no
cream of crab?
no.
And-
You
well,
leave
under
it full
normal-
strength.
Under normal circumstances, if you were making the soup, would you add water or milk to
Yeah,
it to
it
water
says
it
so
down?
on the can to do that. And
Okay.
I've only ever met one person that ever actually ate cream of mushroom soup as a soup.
Okay.
It's
Very-
always an ingredient.
An ingredient for food.
Yeah. So you do
Is
that.
it Campbell's? Do you use Campbell's?
Yes, Mike, of course. We're like the
Okay.
Rockefellers. We don't buy anything cheap. We don't try to deprive my kids of the finest preserved foods.
The kids again.
The kids.
Hiding
My
the
kids
shield.
love it.
The children are a shield in
They are.
this discussion.
And yeah, you know what? Whether it be for food or a terrorist attack, the kids. are always a shield.
Oh, God.
So what you've got now is the base of your casserole. Now keep in mind this is going to cook for some time. So you get yourself a glass 9x13 pan, perhaps by Pyrex. And you take
Everything can be found in your local Safeway store.
you get the non-stick cooking spray. As a matter of fact, the non-stick I use, believe it or not, is still the one you gave me from your cabinet when you moved to Florida.
The Kirkland or Pam?
It was Kirkland.
Very good.
And you don't
Great
want to use the
cooking
baking
spray.
kind, just the canola.
Right.
You give it a light coating. And then
Very
you
good.
put your goo in the
Yeah.
pan. Then
All right.
you give a couple of handfuls of shredded cheese.
Oh
Say,
my God.
Bravo, Spiewak.
And whereas any cheese will work, the kids don't like if it goes too sharp, like a sharp cheddar. Oh, wait a second. No feeling in my arm. That's better. I got it back.
What is the type?
What's that?
Excuse us?
How's that?
What is the type of cheese?
What I like to use is a blend. It's called Mexican 4-cheese blend.
That's also available at your local grocery store.
Of course it is.
That's fantastic. So
And
it's
here's
got
the reason you don't want to use any sort of reduced fat cheese because when the fat comes out, Oscar, it doesn't melt right. Doesn't melt
messes
right.
everything up.
And then it's Julia's job. Because
Okay.
she takes a bag of tater tots from Ore-Ida, Mike, in your grocer's freezer, and you cover the top.
Pre-oiled.
Yes, you cover the top with tater tots, and I like when Julia spreads them in rows because it looks nice. Like just so many barrels on the top of the casserole. If you can't find tots, you can also buy another Ore-Ida product, which is called Crispy Crowns. Now, Crispy Crowns have a larger surface area to potato ratio, so you're going to get something that's a little different. But I'll tell you where it's the same. It's always delicious.
All right, I've got a request.
Wait, we're not
I have a
done
regret.
yet.
Because finish. I'm sorry. I'm getting too excited.
Now, the
I'm
thing
getting
about
ahead
it
of
is that you're going to think, I'm going to bake this at 425 because that's the temperature you bake tater tots,
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't. You bake it
No?
at 350 for an hour to an hour and 10 because
good long cooking
you
time.
want to slow cook it so the flavors can marry. And when those tots look like they're ready to eat, you serve it. And not with ketchup, Oscar. If you really want to do it right, you put a dollop of sour cream on it. Just like a baked potato.
God. There is an art form to your gluttony.
And then what you do, Mike, is you hop in the car and drive down the
You
street
boys.
because you can take that recipe to the bank because
God,
it's
thank
dead
you.
on.
Oh, man. Thank you, Dad. I'm talking to my father right now. Thank you for letting me do this for a living. Thank you. Everybody should have a job like this.
And
Everybody
that, Mike,
should have a job.
that's how
I
you
don't know
play
which I
tater
like more.
tot casserole.
I don't know which one I like more. You're describing it or the parent just punctuated with Oscar. Oh, my God.
The sour cream.
Oh, my
But
God.
that's not every
You got
time.
to do it right with the sour cream.
That's not every time. Well, you see, he was thinking ketchup, and that's what an idiot would do.
Jesus, I have been writing this down on my show prep for like a couple of weeks now.
What's that?
That one of the things we're going to do for fun when we're all up there is it's going to
in
be
Maine. In Maine.
Yeah, it's going to be Rob's night, it's going to be Oscar and Shannon's night, and it's going to be Mike and Carla's night, and we're going to have a night where we're cooking, and we're going to be
On
we won't be
Oscar's
having-
night,
we won't be having pony night, but we will actually be cooking. And
Oscar's
it'll be,
night, I'm busy. I won't be there. Do you say we will or won't have a pony night?
Oh, I haven't told him. I wanted to wait till I'm on the air.
Okay, go ahead, and we have some news.
Yeah.
This is going to disappoint you, Rob.
What?
This
Do
is
you
going to
have?
disappoint
Do you have
you.
your pony jingles?
I do.
All right, please.
But I'm you know what? I'm taken because I don't like
You
the
know
tone
what?
of this.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I am so sorry,
Oh.
but this is going to have to be held till tomorrow's program
Wow.
because simply we cannot we don't have the time to devote to it that I wish
Understandable,
to devote to it.
understandable.
That is,
But I will ask. Can I ask? Would I be out of line in saying? Is there a chance that you and your son, when we're up in Maine, could pull this off and
What,
make
the
it
tater
one
tot
night?
casserole?
The tater tot casserole.
Oh God, yeah. Because Robert was thinking. I've already talked to him about what we're gonna have to cook for dinner. He said he wanted to do steaks. This is so much easier than steak.
Oh my God! Then I request
One
it.
request.
I humbly request. Yes.
Can we have a vegetarian version of that as well? 2
No,
portions.
we can't. Yeah, you know what? We can have a vegetarian portion. You know what it is? It's tater tots.
How about
I'll just
this?
go get some tater tots.
The meat.
So what? We have to put in fake meat?
No, you would just not put in meat. Maybe a melody of vegetables.
Let me ask this:
Mike,
Are
a
you
melody of vegetables. Like sing the cucumber song, Mike. It's a melody of
Oscar.
vegetables.
It's a medley. It's not a melody. It's a medley.
Yeah, you know
It's
what?
a
Maybe
medley.
that night
man.
maybe that night you're busy.
I shouldn't even come in tonight. Today.
Tonight. Hey, it's Wednesday, Oscar, and he's hitting on
Jesus,
all 8.
You're killing me. We'll figure out the meals. Don't worry. That's another show too. We have to take a break. When we come back, Rob.
Yes.
Melody.
You made a man in Florida happy today. Thank you very
Attaboy,
much.
Mike.
And really, you cut through that comedy. It's a damn fine dish.
You're gonna love it. You'll be back for seconds.
We'll take a break. Come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Does she walk? Does she talk? Does she come complete?
Hi, check out Omericast. Omericast is a show by fans for fans of more broadcasting. Whether you like the Mike O'Mara Show, Rob and Joe Show, Tech 4-in-1 Show, It's Mickey, or Cake and Cookies, we'll play clips from all the shows, get you caught up on what happened in the past week, share some of our own personal stories and how we relate to them. Also, we will introduce you to a fan of more broadcasting, so you get to meet another one just like you. Every Monday, catch it on iTunes, Stitcher, or MikeO'MaraShow.com. Omericast, a part of the More Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Let's talk about something that's important to everybody, money. We're talking about personal capital as well. You want to keep your personal wealth, but it's a major hassle to keep track of it by yourself. And if you pay someone to manage it for you, you're probably paying too much. Luckily, I have your solution. It's free and it's secure. It's called Personal Capital. Personal Capital allows you to keep track of your bank accounts, your stocks, your 401k, everything financial that's important to you. All of your accounts and assets on a single screen. Whether you use your computer, your phone, or your tablet, it's all right there on one screen with real-time and intuitive graphs. Personal Capital also shows you how much you're overpaying in fees and how to reduce those fees. Even better, with Personal Capital, you'll get tailored advice on how to optimize your investment. Signing up takes just about a minute, and it will pay you huge dividends. So why wait? Personal Capital gives you the clarity and transparency you need to make better investment decisions right now.
Yes!
To set up your free account, go to personalcapital.com/TMOS. Personal Capital is free, and it's the smart way to grow your money. Go to personalcapital.com/TMOS. That's personalcapital.com/TMOS. If you're like a lot of people, you feel like your finances have gotten out of control, gain that control back with Personal Capital. And we thank you in advance.
One-stop shop.
From around the globe, across the nation, looking through your neighbor's window, the Mike O'Mara Show now presents news you may not need. A comprehensive look at the stories you may or may not be talking about during your daily activity. And now, news you may not need.
All right, boys, time to welcome someone to our world. Yes, Oscar Santana.
This is going to haunt me. I apologize. So it's not melody of vegetables?
No, it's medley.
It's medley. It's like a vegetable medley.
Damn it.
It is a musical term, Oscar. What you might be thinking of is that a medley is made up of several melodies.
Ah,
but a medley is like a combination.
Medley.
But it doesn't make it any less wrong.
It feels so weird coming off my tongue. Medley.
Yeah, well, maybe you should keep your mouth shut.
Well, speaking of medley, this lady knows her way around a medley, and we welcome her to our digital family.
Whom?
Celebrity cook Paula Deen, whose career was derailed after she admitted using racial slurs, is going digital. I bet she knows about that tater tot casserole.
Yeah, I bet she does.
Paula Deen Ventures, a new company formed to help launch a comeback for Deen, announced plans Wednesday for the creation of the Paula Deen Network.
All right, that'd be good.
The paid subscription-based network is set to launch in September and will be accessible by computer, smartphone, or tablet. That's right. Failed DJs and racists get to use the digital age.
That's excellent.
The network will feature daily programming in an unscripted format with new recipes, episodes, and cooking tools. So good luck to Paula Deen, and we'll see how she does with that. Let me ask you, boys, do you think has she paid the price enough? Has she paid her price?
Well, I mean, if the allegations are true, there's really no price you can pay for that. But this will allow her to narrowcast to the people that don't care. So God bless her.
The truck driver charged in the fatal crash of the New Jersey Turnpike that also injured comedian Tracy Morgan and several other people are scheduled to make an initial court appearance today. Kevin Roper is set to appear in state superior court to face death by auto and assault by auto charges. Roper was driving a Walmart truck early Saturday when he allegedly swerved to avoid traffic and hit Morgan's limo. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that and see what happens with that. When O.J. Simpson was arrested for the murders of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman 20 years ago, the overwhelming majority of white Americans thought he was guilty, but 60% of black Americans thought he was innocent. I think everybody remembers that. It was really when we were very racially divided. Not that we have gained any ground in that area in a lot of ways, but that number held through the trial and O.J.'s eventual acquittal, but things have changed over the past 2 decades, at least a little bit. In a new CNN poll, a slight majority of African Americans, 53%, say O.J. did the crime. So the 60% has gone down, but it hasn't gone down by that much.
Can you, Mike, can you really wrap your head around the fact that it's been 20 years since we've seen the Dancing Itos?
Yeah, and the fact is, I wanted to talk about it today. We didn't get a chance to, but it represented a huge seismic shift in pop culture.
Of course.
And I think that that might be not necessarily for the good, but we'll let you know. Arthur Zilberstein is an anesthesiologist in Seattle, and he just had his medical license suspended after an investigation found... That's not him.
What's that?
That's Eric Cantor.
Oh, God, I hit that button. I'm sorry.
Well, apparently this doctor was sexting, not texting. He was sexting during surgeries.
Oh, man.
Oscar would say it. That is not all right.
Yeah, that's not okay.
That is not okay. Apparently, there were a few times when Arthur was in the operating room and supposed to be handling a patient's anesthesia, but instead he was writing nasty stuff back and forth with a woman. Of all the people that need to pay attention when you're in a surgical situation, I believe the anesthesiologist might be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
That wasn't his only violation. He also issued at least 29 unauthorized prescriptions, said something racist to a patient, and had sex with one of his patients. This guy is a delight.
Mike, one of the prescriptions he wrote, and this really covers 2 of the categories, was penicillin. And so
One more thing, he would pull photos of patients from medical records for self-pleasuring.
So
bad
he is.
guy.
This guy's a mess.
Very bad man. He'll have a hearing a few months from now to explain his way out of all of it and to try to get his license back. Yeah, good luck with that one, everybody. 25-year-old Shayna Brown is a waitress who works the overnight shift at the Waffle House in Raleigh, North Carolina. Love this story. I love this story.
And I
but
love
also,
that restaurant.
Oh, you know what? Every now and then, a good old Waffle House is tough to beat.
I've never been. I've actually never been to a Waffle House.
You've never been to a Waffle House?
I never have.
Oh, my God. Well, we did the O'Maras on one of our trips up north or south recently. It was the only option we had, and we went there, and it was just fun.
A lot of people think that the waffles are best with syrup, but actually sour cream, that's a different ballgame.
Well, you see,
tater tots and onions and celery.
Listen, you jerk. A sour cream is on a potato pancake.
Let me tell you about this waitress, Shayna Brown. She's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Last month, she had the moment that every server dreams of. She was working at 3 a.m. on Mother's Day when a guy at one of her tables said, quote, "I'm going to bless you tonight." Then he gave her a $1,000 tip, and he told her that she had a good spirit. Then he got into a cab and took off. It's funny this story comes up. We were at this Waffle House. I think it was on our return trip down here to Florida, and I was watching these just fabulous people doing this incredible work for other people.
Right.
Just flying through this tiny little kitchen, getting breakfast out to people, laughing, being pleasant to everybody. It was hot in there. And I remember I made a comment to Carla. I said, this is really a well-oiled machine, and I think it's, everybody can do their job well no matter what that job is. And I remembered it was at a Waffle House where that happened. The guy actually tipped $1,500, told her to give $500 of it to a woman at another table who looked a little rough.
Wow.
Obviously, Shayna was ecstatic. She's a single mother with 3 kids who works 2 jobs. But when it came time to cash out, Waffle House wouldn't let her have the money. Their policy, when a customer leaves a huge tip on a credit card, is to automatically refund it.
Oh, my God.
Do you think that's because of all the drunky drunks that they deal with?
Probably. I bet,
that's
you know
fair.
what? I bet they've crossed this bridge many times.
They're afraid to pay it out in cash because the customer might challenge the charge later on.
Also,
if you're leaving a tip, you should leave a tip. But that's corporate America for you.
Sure.
Shayna said she felt humiliated and felt like they stole from her. Don't blame her a bit.
No, it's true.
Fortunately for her, the Charlotte Observer tracked down the guy who left the tip, and he got in touch with Shayna and sent her the tip directly. Happy ending, everybody.
That's great.
Nice.
He said he wanted to remain anonymous, so there is a good guy. Director Richard Donner Oscar recently revealed that a Goonies sequel is in the works.
Woo, finally.
It's still too early to tell.
I've been waiting 30 years.
If it'll actually happen. Sean Astin says, quote, I hope it's true. I certainly like the idea of doing it. I don't know if I'd be in it on it or not, but if they really wanted us to be in it, I'm sure there'd be some way to work it out. He added, quote, Corey Feldman and I are buddies, and he's fired up to do it.
Great,
Sorry,
and then
I
he'll
don't know where
break his
that's
hip.
He's ready to go. But Sean also said he's heard the movie will probably focus on the children of the original
That
gang.
would make sense.
And you know who's missing from the original cast, Mike?
Who's that?
Is Ann Ramsey.
Oh, yes.
And
yeah.
I say, why go forward without her?
How
I
dare
agree.
you?
Yeah.
Piece of ass. And now
Great
a little
gap.
something. If you've ever been around
God.
someone who talks in their sleep, you know it doesn't offer much of a window into their subconscious. It's mostly a bunch of babbling nonsense when people do this. Not this time. 24-year-old Sarah Ann Bade lives with her boyfriend in Willow Creek, Montana. They're in bed at 2 a.m. According to her, he was saying bad stuff about her. So she
That's bad stuff.
So she woke him up and started arguing with him. Then she grabbed her shotgun, which women in Montana often want to do.
Sure.
Started hitting him with it, and when he got in his car to get out of there, she bashed in the driver's side window with the shotgun. Then she fired into speaking of the devil, yes. Hey, dear, I'm reading my kicker in the news. Sorry about that. I'll call you right back. Bye. Thank
Shouldn't
you very
she
much.
be sorry?
Well,
Or
I
was
left
that
my
your,
phone on.
Or was that your agent?
It's been a long time since I've done it.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what this lady did.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Ever forward, Mike.
Not mad at you, Oscar. Not mad at anybody.
No, you know what? Because you
Very,
shouldn't
very
be.
happy. Very
Life is
blessed.
good.
Life is great.
Bestseller, baby.
Yeah, at least you didn't wake up in the middle of the night saying bad stuff about your wife. Like this story.
Kind of weird the phone rang at that moment.
I know.
So she grabbed her shotgun and started hitting him in the head with it. When he got in his car to get out of there, she bashed in the driver's side window with the shotgun, then fired into his front tire to keep him from leaving. She was arrested and charged with felony assault with a weapon. No word on whether it was the C word or the B word or the effing C word or the effing B word. But it definitely wasn't Sweetie. My Sweetie just called me. That's where everybody heard the alarm. We'll take a break. Come back with the audio of all Rob Spiewak right after this, everybody.
Opportunity knocks once, let's reach out and grab it. Together we'll nab it. We'll hitchhike bus or
Hey, gang, it's the Money Man. Let me tell you, we got a big book signing coming up when I come up to Washington, D.C. Please join us Thursday, June 26th, for our exclusive book signing party. Get your books now. Bring them to Jimmy's.
Right.
The entire TMOS crew will be at Jimmy's Old Town Tavern. We ain't bringing books with us, people. You got to get your book in advance because we're selling it online. So bring your books with you, and we would be glad to sign them. The entire TMOS crew will be at Jimmy's Old Town Tavern, 697 Spring Street in Herndon, Virginia. The signing is from 6:30 to 8 p.m., but the fun begins when you arrive.
True.
Don't miss your chance to get your book signed and hang with your favorite podcast pals/authors. And before you ask us, yes, we will autograph your Kindles. How the hell do you do that?
I don't know.
Anyway, see you there. Book signing Thursday, June 26th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Jimmy's Old Town Tavern, 697 Spring Street, Herndon. Are we going to have any books at all there? At all? Any books at all?
No,
Will there be
it
a
all
box?
depends. Depends on how much you want to bring.
I'm going to bring some books, but they won't be our book.
Let Pony carry the books. Pony, do you want to carry the books?
That's fine.
Okay. You carry them with Jimmy since you're not.
You know, it all depends.
And you know what? I'm not sure I want Pony handling the money. It's more of a word guy.
Okay. Without further ado, let's open up the audio of all Tuesday, June 10, 2014. Take it away, Rob Spiewak.
You know, he actually said that before we hooked up with you
Pony
today.
of all
Tony
people.
he said, you know, I'm more of a word guy.
Yeah. And I said, you are not a word guy.
Yeah, the two of them talking. That was great.
That's the
Like the
worst.
Lincoln Douglas debates.
Yeah, it was kind of like an Oscar. It was kind of like an Oscar and Pony melody.
Boo.
Sorry about that.
I've been using Melody my entire life,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
no
you
one's
poor
ever
boy.
called me out.
Yeah,
on it.
well,
Poor man.
That really hurt.
Today that stops. Mike, do you still take your news from KTLA in Los Angeles,
I
California?
sure do. Every single day. Right?
They had a great moment. They were covering the Gay Pride Parade over the weekend, and a lady was talking about how there was not a lot, but some drinking going on. And because it's bleeped, I'll tell you what the guy said on live
Please.
television. He goes up to the reporter and goes right into her ear and says, "You are so effing hot." Let's go to the tape.
And the energy is extremely intense, I can tell you. According to the Sheriff's Department, no major disturbances. Everything has gone pretty smoothly. They say they've only had a couple arrests related to people who were drinking a little bit too much. Live in West Hollywood.
Hot.
Whoa! I'm sorry. Christina Pascucci, KTLA 5 News. Back to you guys.
Yeah, he might be one of those that's been drinking a little too much.
You know what? As much as I love the raw moment in the field, I hate the anchor.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, I guess, well, I'm totally in control with the screen and
you
the
know why?
words that I read.
Because it's the worst of all. It's in Los Angeles anchor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the guy? Is it Johnny Mountain? Was that the
I think that's the
weather
right
guy?
name, yeah.
Let's be careful out there. Oh, there's a guy that's been drinking. Duh.
Here's a very clever piece of tape that sounds much more complicated than it is. It's a young man, I would say he's maybe 4 or 5 years old, laying on the ground, and his father plays his body like a drum. Now, you get different tones. Like if you hit a kid on the back, you get something that's like almost like a bass drum.
Michael Williams, something to look forward to.
And here's the thing. The noise that sounds like it's electronically produced, the kid is having such a blast, he's laughing.
Oh.
But because he's hitting him on the back, the laughter is being stunted. This is not any, there are no effects on this. This is just a guy drumming on his son.
That's good. That's good, Max.
Isn't that great?
That is so
unbelievable.
Cool.
That's
it is
fantastic.
so cool to watch. Good for him.
I wonder if he's bruising now.
Yeah, now he's a
Yeah, there's a wonderful little tape of abuse, wasn't it?
Yeah. And while we're talking about music from unexpected sources, if you ever thought you could get different shaped beer bottles that play different tones and play a Michael Jackson record, Mike, you might be right. Just beer bottles. Pretty amazing stuff. I love the fact that they actually build the chords and everything.
We have to be number one in the world in stupid crap that people
I
do.
agree. But you know what, Mike? I'm proud to say no goats today.
No goats?
No goats!
Oh,
No
bummer.
goats. I'm sorry. Now, here are a couple things I'm not sure if I believe or not, and I want your take on them. Last night, this is the first time I've ever played a tape from America's Got Talent. They claim they couldn't buzz a contestant because the buzzers were unplugged because Mel B, and she was a Spice Girl, right?
Yes.
Mel B unplugged the buzzers to charge her cell phone.
I gotta tell you, Mel B pulled out the plug to the buzzers to charge her phone.
Wow. You guys were probably like, I can't believe they're not hitting their buzzers.
Are you buying that for a New York minute?
No, I believe it because Howard talks about how you've got Howie, Mel B, and Heidi Klum that are his judges with him on there. And he said the entire time they're tweeting and they're taking selfies. And he goes, I'm there judging. I don't know if they're tweeting or judging. And he really is annoyed by this because he's like, no one's talking to each other.
So when they did it, do you think it was Howard dropping a line, doing some shtick, or do you think it was a legitimate?
I think that you can only tweet so much on an iPhone, and you have to charge your effing phone.
But who designs a big television show where you can unplug the buzzer?
Yeah, but you have to think they go
CBS.
Yeah, no, it's actually NBC.
It's NBC.
NBC.
Same difference.
They're in a theater, so that theater is made. It's not made for that show.
Oh, so I guess they have to come and go.
They have to come and go left and right. Right.
You're talking about a live show that was done by a bunch of people that used a light bulb to change pictures on a screen. You know? So I think anything's possible.
All right.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I'll save you the tape, but I just want your opinion on this. Do you really believe that Hillary and Bill were literally broke when they left the White House?
I saw that.
She claims this.
It was tough a tough pill to swallow, but with all the legal fees, I imagine that went into protecting the president.
Yeah, they weren't. They didn't come in. They've been political animals all their life. There are people that have not had the opportunity. When you're in public life for that long, you've lived on the taxpayer, so you aren't making the money yet. You're not allowed to, so it's a possibility.
Like, they're not broke anymore. And
No.
we close. David Letterman had a great booking last night. Dave Chappelle talking about how he ended his show on Comedy Central.
Now you had your. You had the Dave Chappelle show at Comedy Central, and then you didn't have the Dave Chappelle show at Comedy Central.
Listen, here it is. Technically, I never quit. I'm 7 years late for work.
Boy, are you going to be in trouble when you go back.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.
Hey, tomorrow we open up our mailbag. If you'd like to get some mail on the show, you'd like to send us something nice or something interesting, Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Pony, how are we doing on the listener mailbag? Are we getting people? It's nonstop. It's good news. Send all of your correspondence to Ponyboy at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you need to do it the old-fashioned way, our address is TMOS, P.O. Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. And remember, our official e-voice hotline is open now at 800-440-8167. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Tater Tot O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
It's nonstop.
Ciao, ciao.
Now that the show's over, don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Personal Capital right now. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click the Personal Capital banner, or go to personalcapital.com/TMOS. Again, click the Personal Capital banner on MikeO'MaraShow.com, or go to personalcapital.com/TMOS.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.